welcome to Beyond Common Sense. So glad you stopped on by. I'm trying something a little different, trying to save a little time. And instead of writing a blog and then creating a podcast, I'm writing the blog, putting it up there on my website, and attaching the podcast to it. So you can read it, you can listen to it. Life is good. We had a little bit of rain here the last couple weekends. Last weekend we were without power for 50 hours. That was interesting. This week not so much. Just yesterday, I don't know, about 6-8 hours, which seems like a lot, but after losing it for days, what's a few hours? It does make you realize how we get used to things, don't we? Yes. Well, this post is called The Joy of a Right Choice. When the call came for help, I cringed. I did not want to help in junior church. I'm already on a rotating schedule to teach and have finally acclimated my teachings to fit the younger age of this group. I look forward to the Sundays that I get to sit back in the pew and almost be a normal person instead of the pastor's wife. My husband is still pastoring part-time as the mentoring pastor, so I do still hold that title, but have gladly given over the front seat to our new, can I still refer to them as new after 4 years, and younger pastor and wife. I even called another person to be the helper, and she gladly volunteered, which only added to my feeling of guilt for my bad attitude. She's a fairly new believer. I wonder if this is how King David felt as he sat in the palace instead of heading off to war in 2 Samuel 11. Look where that got him. So, this Sunday morning, after a wonderful time of conversing with my Lord, I had my act together and was ready to serve with joy instead of drudgery. Maybe I'm too transparent. Maybe none of you ever feel that way. I hope I'm not disappointing you with my humanity. But there is another silver lining in this scenario besides the fact that I did surrender to God's will. Joy, joy, joy. This morning's time with God's people was sheer pleasure. Being with them, worshiping with them, sharing my music with them, listening to the Bible taught in Sunday school and taking part in the discussion, sharing burdens, giving advice, and, yes, helping in junior church. Every activity filled my I want to be like Jesus cup. It doesn't take a college degree to do any of the things I did this morning. You don't even have to be smart, thank God. I am not the sharpest tool in the shed. Do you realize how many of these wonderful antidotes young people don't know? My grandkids know them. But it does take a willing heart. We recently watched Season 4, Episode 4 of The Chosen. The disciples and Jesus were asked to carry the Roman soldiers' gear. One of the soldiers mockingly put his helmet on Jesus' head, and a disciple wants to remove it, but Jesus stops him. When they get to the mile marker, the disciples lay down their loads. By law, they were only required to carry for that distance. But Jesus keeps walking. He then speaks those humbling words, and whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go with him 2, that you may be the sons of your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:41 and 45a. In other words, that we would be acting like God's children ought to act and show this lost world what it really means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. Ouch! Well, if I stepped on your toes, welcome and join me to the Bloody Toe Club. Seriously, I came home with so much joy in my heart. Oh, if I can only hold on to this feeling when the next unlovely task comes my way. Can you see the young person's beaming face for a job well done? That joy of doing right isn't just for kids. It's for every child of God. I hope that was a blessing to you. It really spoke to my heart. Oh my, there are always going to be activities that we really don't feel like doing. They don't necessarily have to do anything with church. Sometimes it might just be I really don't want to play with my toddler, but it's the right thing to do. I really don't want to take a meal to someone, but it's the right thing to do. I don't want to give a gospel tract. I don't want, you fill in the blank, you know what I'm talking about. So this week, when the next I don't want comes your way, and yet it's what God wants you to do, just keep your eye focused on who's asking you to do it and enjoy the joy of making the right choice. Hey, go out there and have a good and godly day.